Namaste. This video is a demonstration about how to make takra or buttermilk. Buttermilk is the premier, superior support to the digestive tract in Ayurveda. So it helps digestion, absorption, assimilation, and then ultimately elimination. So in terms of the gut health, the gut has a natural biome, and rather than having probiotics in other forms, this is the way that it is recommended in Ayurveda whenever possible, because the body responds to what's most natural. What we find in nature, us being a part of nature, is identifiable and processable by the body itself. So making takra is very simple. It starts with yogurt. So I have yogurt that's fresh from the farm, which is an option. If not, plain Greek yogurt is what you want to look for. You'll use a flat tablespoon. This is for one serving. And then you're going to use about just a little pinch of salt, little pinch of asafoetida, also known as hing, pinch of cumin powder, and this is a really classic combination of spices, but there are different spice combinations, which you'll see and which you can explore as well. And then a little bit of black pepper. So the spices aid in the digestion of the takra itself so that we can utilize the benefits for our optimum health. Now, if you like cilantro, you can also chop cilantro and put it up in there. The cilantro is also very good for people who are having excess heat. If it's hot summertime outside or you run hot, you're having skin rashes, acid reflux, burning sensation, then that's a really great choice. Sometimes I'll use ginger powder, sometimes I'll use turmeric, so you can play around with what you're putting in there. Toasted mustard seeds, what they start to pop a little bit, is really lovely to blend in as well. And it has a little bit of oiliness in the mustard seeds, so that does help with those who have high vata or have dryness internally and externally. Another option is actually with rose petals. It's a nice one in the summertime. It's a little bit sweeter, and you can use dried rose petals that you've soaked in advance and blend them in, or if you have fresh roses that are organic and don't have any pesticides or sprays on them, you can just harvest the fresh petals and use them in with a little bit of cardamom or black pepper. So once you have the yogurt and the spices in there, then you'll need about 2/3 or 3/4 cups of water. Not cold water, because cold constricts the channels, which interferes with digestion, assimilation, absorption, and elimination. Not hot, because we're using a blender, we don't want it to explode. So we're gonna go with the happy medium, which is gonna be warm, which supports the flow of the channels and the digestion. So in goes the water. We're gonna want to blend for a couple of minutes. So I'm gonna start it on medium, and then I'm gonna switch it to high for the first round here. Period is appropriate for your blender to take a little rest so you don't burn up the motor. You can do that. And then I'm going to resume again. And then I'm going to do one more time. Ideally, you'd be able to blend it, for a couple of minutes, just to really change the quality, lighten up the quality of the yogurt to transform it into this buttermilk. And that's it. So very simple. Do this before the meal, have it prepared, take it with you to your lunch, and then have it after lunch. That would be the timing. When you finished your lunch, you would have the takra. If there's any foam that ends up pouring out, you can just scoop that froth or that foam off, and then here you have it. I like to use my fancy teacups for my buttermilk at lunch. If you have any questions, you can write in the comments, let me know. Otherwise, enjoy experimenting. And again, the best thing to help treat an imbalanced digestive tract, but also to support and maintain good health. And good health, vibrancy, longevity is dependent on our digestive system. Our immunity is dependent on our digestive system. Our hormone function is dependent on that. So as much as we can include these healthful, recognizable forms of nutrition that help to balance the body, then the better off that we end up being. So that is takra or buttermilk.